Alright, hello everyone. A few days ago, probably a week by now, a new trick was discovered here in Rocky Start that allows you to skip collecting this key, and it's pretty fast and really cool. And not as bad as I had once thought. So, there are two setups for this. I much prefer this first one, and it's a little bit easier, there's a less movement you have to do. So, we're gonna just start by lining up the camera like this, and the best way to do this, the best visual cue to look for, is the right side of the camera, and having enough space between the locked door and the side of the camera, however it looks on your screen, or looks on your gameplay. Have about that much distance, and then you're just gonna jump, and it's gonna be just a jump, doesn't really matter. And after you do the jump, you're gonna hold forward the entire time from start to finish, and you're gonna time a second jump very late. Like think about how late you want to time this jump, and then you want to go a little bit later than that. So, let me see if I can do this really quick. And there you go. That's about how much time you want to wait. Like, to the point where it feels like Sly's gonna land on the ground and just start running. That's pretty much when you want to start jumping, because that's what is essentially happening, is you're landing in this little crevice and ending on the opposite side of the collision, and then jumping through the collision, and you're kind of in this in-between state where you're inside, like the wall is like inside you. It's really weird, but if you do this with the door down, you can see that Sly's like half clipped into the pipe and like half out of bounds still, and you just hit like the back end of the load zone, and there you go. So that's the first setup for it. I much more enjoy that one. However, I will show off a secondary setup that if you're having trouble with that one, this is the setup I was using before I started experimenting with that one. And this one's a little bit different. It requires a little bit more movement. Everything is still on the D-pad. So we're gonna get in this corner and we're gonna run, and we're gonna have the camera pretty much like touching the lock. Pretty much touching the lock, a little bit off of it. And from here, we're gonna tap right on the D-pad while still holding up. You're gonna hold up the entire way through until I tell you to let off of up. We're gonna tap right on the D-pad, and when we tap right on the D-pad, we're gonna also jump, and then we're gonna delay that second jump the exact same length as the first jump. This one is a little bit harder. It feels like, for whatever reason. Probably because there's movement involved. But I want to be able to show it off, because these are the two setups that I've had the most consistency with the trick with. Okay. So now that you've clipped with this, there are two things you can do. You don't have to pause. As soon as you clip, if you're quick enough on the reaction, you can just hold like directly right on the D-pad, like let go forward and just hold directly right. Or you can try to transition to like down right on the analog stick if you're really fast with your hand movement. Otherwise, you're just gonna pause as soon as you see the clip happen, and so long as Sly doesn't dip down, like you don't see the camera like slip down, like you'll know if Sly has gone too far. The camera does this weird like little jerk thing. From here, you're gonna turn the camera to be like right here on the lock. Just make sure the lock's just really in your face, and then you're gonna hold down right on the analog stick, and then press start to unpause, and you should always hit the load zone. And those are the two ways that are the most consistent, for me at least, that I've had the most success with for doing the Rocky Start clip. If you want to try other setups, the most important thing to remember is the timing of the second jump. The second jump is the most pivotal part. Make sure that you have landed on the ground and are really like getting into the rock, and there you go. That's all there is to it. Hope this helps anybody that's wanting to learn the trick, and yeah, peace out.